Welcome to Inner Power Particles. I'm Farhad, the host of the podcast. We talk with entrepreneurs and leaders about how they have solved the challenges in their life or business and how it has transformed into new inner strength in them. And with this we want to help that you also can look at your life or business situations and see how you can solve the challenges in them and through that transform them also into new inner strengths, inner power particles in you. Enjoy the show. Hi Maido.
Hello.
And thanks for coming to the podcast. Are you married?
Yes.
How did you get married? Can you share us?
I actually started to live with my wife already 21 years ago or something like that.
Okay.
So
What experience?
And so I have been very long in the relationship. And I have a friend, and the friend married, and I was always like, no, I don't marry, never, because I thought that it's a stupidity to marry. Yes, because what's the point? They marry, what you see, the usual pattern. They marry, they get lazy, they are disappointed of each other, and then they divorce. Mm-hmm. What's the point of doing that?
But what's the point of getting bored because you die eventually?
Yeah, let's keep everything going, like. and I was really against that. I said this is stupidity. If I have decided to live with you, then I will live with you.
Yeah.
And then my friend, who is a CEO of one of the production company, very big production company, and he said to me that, Maido, I married, and this is absolutely different experience for the man and for the woman. And I was like, okay, first time something new comes. And then I was thinking, okay, what is the thing I'm actually holding down? I'm afraid of divorce. Or what's my problem actually? I don't feel that I want to divorce. I just wanted to marry. Or I want to live with that person. I just didn't want to marry, so I thought that if it's an experience, let's do it. So I gave myself a permission to do that. And when I proposed my wife, it's absolutely another type of experience. And I would say it's a commitment. There's two things. One thing is this, that you say you are doing something, versus you commit it. And marriage is a specific type of commitment. If you break these commitments, you will have consequences.
What will be the consequence?
Financial, for example.
Yeah, okay.
For example. And these are like, as I'm doing a lot of business and stuff like that, so this put me like into this role of understanding how I have to take a responsibility in that relationship as a man. Not anymore as a like equal partners and this type of attitude that we are like both driving in male mode or something like that type of thing. Of course, this is a long story what I mean over here with this, but this put right things in the right perspective.
Mm-hmm. So how many years ago you got married?
8
years. And how has getting or being a married man impacted your professional side?
Have never made that connection.
Maybe you can think back 8 years ago, what was happening in professional side and today. How long are you running the company?
I have been Eziil CEO basically 6 years, I would say. And if you now ask, then I understand that there is a specific pattern. If I look back now, I can see that type of pattern. With my co-founders, we had earlier venture also. We had a company which made the services, home pages, IT systems and stuff like that. So a lot of mix of things, let's say it that way. But we understood that it doesn't work that way, that you try to do so many things at once, because in the end you do nothing. So we decided that we will spin off one part of the business and create from that Eziil, which is production management software.
Okay.
So we decided to do that. But we had a huge conflict over that, how much of shares each co-founder should own
Spin-off
in the
company.
spin-off. Yeah. And this was, I would say, this is also like a part of showing my commitment and my willpower to actually stay committed in the challenge. I have this specific quality that if I get knocked down, I will stand up. This is a specific quality that I own. I have owned over the lifetime. And we had multiple sessions and back and forth. And we basically spent almost 18 months for that, solving that problem. And I tried more than 20 different ways how to solve it. Do you want to guess what was the solution?
No, better tell it.
We took ourselves a mentor,
Aha.
business mentor actually.
Yeah.
And the business mentor took all of three of us together into one room and let everybody to articulate what they are doing. What is the skill set, what they are doing, and what they like to do, and what they are expecting to learn, etc. He listened to everybody, then had a small silence and then said, okay, so who wants to be a CEO? Like,
In this new company.
yeah, in this new company. And he said that he shared his perspective on that. He saw that the most capabilities of being the CEO I owned, and I had a lot of experience regarding that. And to get into this point, what we visionized with Eziil, what we wanted to do, the best bet will be put into me. And I wanted also to be a CEO. And then mentor said that, okay, CEO will tell his terms. And your choice is to accept it or leave it.
Yeah.
And if you accept it, you will never return back to that question. It's a decision. And basically it's the same way. It's a commitment.
And this is what happened?
Yes.
You gave an offer. And
Yes.
what was their answer?
Let's proceed.
Let's
They
proceed.
committed.
Okay. And then you created a spin-off company, same three people that owned that software company, yes?
Yes.
And the cap tables look differently in both companies.
Yeah, we started as a first cap table. When we spin off it, we started like usual case. We have three people here, let's share it like 1 to 3. And what happened actually was this, that nobody was leading actually.
Wait, but then I'm jumping topic to topic, but still, isn't it then so that this idea of spin-off inception happened approximately when you married?
It happened in the same, I would say, in the same sequence. It was like in over a 2 years or 3 years period when all changes and stuff happened. I think I was married around 2015.
Yeah.
And we created Eziil. We created 16, because if you take from this as a narrative, it's again, we had a mix of things in one company, what we did. We took one thing and said that we will commit into that.
Okay, understood. And what happened with the software company? Are you still running or involved in two businesses, or?
I'm still owner in there, but not putting my hands on that. I said right away that I will not deal with that further. So I left that software company to one of the people who was working in there.
Yeah.
So he started to step in and took the CEO role, and I'm just one of the owners over there. So.
Okay.
So.
And the other two co-founders, are they still actively involved in Eziil today?
Yes.
So you are all three active co-founders working there.
Yes.
Okay.
And we shared the roles. We are very lucky, and it's a challenge, and in the other, it's a problem, and bliss and the hell in the same time. Let's say it that way. We are three co-founders. I'm like more like such a vision guy. Let's do this, that, think some plan, woo, go. I'm that type of guy. And one co-founder is absolutely opposite of me. He's the product manager, and he's more, whoa, have you thought of this, that, and when this comes, then this happens, and like full in how the execution mode, how to put this all happen. And then one co-founder is like exactly between there. He's like, hell yes, let's do Maido. What is the deadline?
Okay, very good.
And then in the same time bringing in what needs to be done. And he's playing with all these two concepts. It's a perfect mix from that point of view.
And what's his role title, this third one?
He's a CTO.
CTO, okay.
And we agreed with co-founders that we will review what has happened once a year after that decision, just to recap what we have achieved. And I remember I asked from one of my co-founders, Tiit, who is my CTO, I remember I asked on that meeting, are you satisfied that we made that set decision? And he was like, hell yes. Like never thinked back. That was exactly the same thing like with the marriage. You say, I love that wife, I love that woman, I want to commit to that woman, I will sacrifice all the other options.
All the other women.
Yeah, it's actually the sacrifice.
Yes.
You have to sacrifice all the other options and say, I will commit to that woman and be committed even in hard times.
So what did you gain in you from this experience?
In which one?
In the shares division experience.
I would say three main things. Number one, if you have a problem, you need to have a stamina to find the different solutions. It's very usual when people lose interest very fast. They try something, they look at, oh, he didn't like my solution, even if I was very reasonable. He didn't like that. He's a stupid, and I will walk away.
Yeah.
And that's it. But I was very committed. I knew that they are the right people. I want to work with them. So I added systematically all the time something different into the mix when we negotiated that.
Yeah.
And one of this shows my commitment, that I have this skill to be committed and try different things. And one of the things was this mentor. Raido Pikar is his name. He's mentoring startups before A round, so before seed and after seed. So he's very focused on that area, and he knows very well what's going on in that growth stage in the company. And bringing someone in who can give you to others his opinion and view, this is like magical. Absolutely magical. And now, on that point, is a decision. You see which people you have around the table. Do you have people who are locked only on their own view, and even if the different view is shown and it's visible that it's something different that we have not looked, they still commit to their own stupid idea. Even if it's a reality that this idea don't work. Raido said to us really correctly, if you want to do something in the company, CEO have to make a lot of effort. So CEO need to be committed. He need to have a significant stake in the game.
And so why couldn't you have accomplished this without this outside mentor? Or no, let me ask differently. If you now, with your inner setup as you are today, would be in a similar situation, would you accomplish the outcome on your own, or
Yes.
you would still need some third party coming
Today on my own, because I have that knowledge already.
Yeah.
This is the difficulty. You cannot know what you don't know.
Knowledge, you mean information or the power to just say out things?
My own experience.
Yeah.
How this works out, how it needs to be working. Because before that, I have been running like 1, 2, 3 companies as a CEO.
Yeah.
In first company, I was promised some shares that I didn't get. At the second company, I 100% owned, and I saw that it doesn't work for me actually owning myself own the company, because I needed someone to make cooperation with. And the third company, I had equal shares. also didn't work.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So you tried three options. that
Yeah, I
don't work.
tried everything, like been there, done that in one opposite and in another opposite, and found the middle way.
And the middle way actually is not the middle way, meaning that the CEO should have a bit more shares, given all other factors are equal.
Yeah.
And then if other factors are unequal, then the CEO has even more shares than in some cases.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We had in one company, we had a very stupid setup. I owned one production company. It was quite a big one. We had 150 people. We had a turnover around 8-10 million per year, and quite big operation. And we had 3 founders actually, or 3 people owned that. I owned 45. One owned 10%, and another owned also 45.
Yeah.
And basically that one owned the 10%, made all the decisions.
He had the golden ticket.
Oh, I like that too. I like that too.
Yeah.
This is
Golden ticket holder.
that was a crisis. That didn't end well for me.
But the story that you shared is, to me, it's also a story of inner power. Do you have it or do you not have it? The inner power to say things in a not upsetting way for others, but so that it makes sense for others. I've had the examples when I meet some teams, then there is this situation which is called the cap table is, there's unpolite word, but not in a good shape. Yes. This is usually when there's some either investor owning too much or some past passive co-founder owning too much. And then the co-founders or the CEO lacks the inner power to just go and say, hey, let's fix it.
Mm-hmm.
And it usually requires in the beginning this external perspective or external push to say that, hey, but your cap table looks bad. Objectively, you need to fix it.
Yeah.
Because now this investor is owning 60% of worthless shares, actually.
Yeah. And this is, I think it comes from our, how to say, our ability to listen. And what I mean exactly with this is this, that if I'm here and the other person is there, and from the other person's point of view, my proposal looks not so beneficial economically as his proposition, then he automatically assumes that I'm trying to rip off him.
Mm-hmm.
This is automatic. So it gets like a bullfight.
Yeah.
When there is added something into the mix that can reflect what's going on, and that third has a authority on that matter, with authority experience from what he or she is reflecting that situation, and both parties are trusting him, then magic can happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's a specific ingredient.
So since then, 8 years have passed, if my memory is correct.
About 6.
6 years have passed. What else has happened in your business life that we could term going through problematic terrain?
We had the first challenge to raising first round of money. This was our first challenge because...
Isn't it for everyone or for most?
I don't know. I have done it only once.
Okay.
So I don't know for others. But we was not so sure that do we want to actually raise investment, like investment money at all.
Yeah.
But in the end, when you finish every month with looking, the account is empty, but wages have to be paid out tomorrow.
Fridge is also empty, yes.
So then you start to think, I'm just surviving. Like, you cannot grow. It's so gradual, that first steps, and this takes so much effort. And then we was not sure, and then we asked ourselves as a founders also, that what we can do before raising someone else's money to prove that we can do something good with that money, like for ourselves also.
Which is a very good question also.
And then we understood that, okay, we have to put our own balls in the game. Let's say it that way. We went to bank as a startup. We loaned 100K from the bank.
What did you give as a collateral?
personal guarantees.
Personal guarantees.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we took 100K and look what we can do with the 8 months. 9 months. It was 9 months.
Yeah.
What we can do with the 9 months. Oh, we created a lot of interesting things. We raised revenue, we took some people to solve some problems that we had, arranged the processes and stuff like that. So this, like, everything worked. We were like, wow, this is what you can do with money. Like, even if you burn money, but you can make money with this money. And then we got this own experience and confidence that we can do it in another scale. And then I went to raise a first round. And again,
Sorry to interrupt you, but I feel it's important before you go in that. I just want to highlight that what you did is not a typical way how people do in startups to go and take a loan and giving personal guarantees. How do you feel? What in your character is such that you decided to go that way? Because it's much bigger risk, right? I'm not saying it's something incorrect to do. I think it's very admirable thing to do, respectable thing to do, but still not typical.
I think in my case it was that I was not sure that will I make it, or how to put these resources in good motion, like how to do this. And I felt that in somehow it's again part of commitment, how you show commitment. Like, it's a bit related with this commitment also.
It's this burning the bridges behind you so that you...
Yes, yeah, and it's showing that I'm serious with that. I'm not serious when you give me money.
Yes.
I'm serious also with my own money. You give or not, it doesn't matter. I will do it anyway.
Yeah.
And this gives like a different power how you operate.
Okay.
Because and for me also, I gained the knowledge from that. When I used that money, I understood how it works, what we can do. So I was able to think that, okay, if we will have a triple of that money, what we will do 10 even. And then I was playing with that idea.
So, yeah, practically it means that you are making smarter moves.
Yeah.
Because often, okay, not often, but we can see cases when a part of a startups or scale-ups problem is that they have raised too much, they have too much money, and then they just waste it in unproductive, inefficient ways. But okay, coming back to your story. So you are now, okay, let's fundraise, yes? So what happens next?
I had a mentor, again.
Same one?
Yeah, same one. Right, help us. What need to be in place, what you need to show, etc., etc. And it was by the book, money raising process, basically. Very simple stuff. I made a one-pager, execution.
How much did you raise? Sorry to jump ahead.
300K.
And did you return the loan from that or no? Or the loan remained?
Loan remained. So
okay.
the loan will be paid.
It's still there.
Yeah.
Okay.
We took COVID was quite hard hit, so we took a small break from that also.
Okay. And how has it been in the business since then? You fundraised?
We fundraised. By the book, everything went. We got funding from Estonian top investors, and then we started to board the new people.
Yeah.
And then the hell started.
Hell started. Okay. Tell me more.
We are doing manufacturing software, and my vision has been always, I'm like super systematic guy. I like to make systems. I like this. I have this special skill that I can systemize stuff and make it clear and understandable. So I wanted to create for these manufacturers the possibility to see what's going into production and have a clear process. Why? Because when I was myself the owner and the manager of this manufacturing company where I worked, I scaled so fast without systems. So when I joined the company, I think we had turnover 3 million or something like that over there. I joined in this manufacturing. I scaled 2.5 years. We scaled 8.9 or something like that. So from 1 factory to 4 factories, and this was total nightmare. You go from meeting to meeting and you have to make decisions without the information, data, basically who screams louder can get better decisions because he just knows how to manipulate or play with emotions or make a loud voice. But is it wise? You don't know. And this was total hell, and that was my biggest motivation actually to invest into building the system that enables the producers to see what's going on in the manufacturing.
Okay.
So this was my inner motivation to do that.
Yes.
And we took that money, and to scale the business, make it bigger, you need to have people, because in early days you solve problems with people. and the problem came from that our industry is very specific. It's very complicated to make a good hires with the knowledge. So we took people who we had to train ourselves. But the challenge with people who don't have experience is this, that you never know how long does it take before they get it. It can take 2 months, 3 months, 4, 5, 12, you don't know. And we poured a lot of junior people, and that actually didn't make things faster, but slowed down.
Yeah.
And then when we got the sales system back up, again, we had month-over-month growth about 20% or something like that.
But the juniors were in sales or product more? What are we talking about?
We took developers, we took in sales, so we had them all around the place.
Okay.
And the very basic problem that if you have a process, for example, development, you have one senior guy, you have one junior guy, you put junior guy in there, he breaks stuff, senior have to fix it, then he have to teach it, but at the same time he cannot create stuff, and your machine will stop. And this will start to scale, because then you cannot deliver what you promised, then the customer success can't deliver, then the sales can't deliver because they cannot get this features what was requested, etc.
And what's the learning here then?
It's you have to be very aware what is your ability to train new recruitments.
But then isn't the answer just to look and hire seniors?
Yes and no. It's not so black and white every time.
Of course, but
Yeah,
by
but you have a point here.
in the early stage,
Yeah,
it's like small boat. Each rower has to be strong.
Yeah, it's in early stage. I would say that we've had a lot of better traction if we have higher experience.
Yeah. Once, I don't remember the author at the moment, one Latvian coach showed the formula that team's performance is not sum of team members, but it's a multiplication of team members. And when you look at it this way, then you see how each smaller number drags the whole formula outcome quite a lot down.
Yep.
Therefore, in this earlier stage, better is to pay a bit more, burn a bit more,
Yeah.
but also not overshoot. Because
Yeah.
other extreme is to hire some super experienced senior people, pay 10K monthly salaries, and that's also extreme.
So there is, I would say, the best advice is this, that if you take from the junior's point of view, if you take person in, and it's the industry for him is new, he have never worked in that industry. If the work role is for him a new, he have never worked in that position. So if he have never been in the startups, the culture in the startups are absolutely different. So you have 3 ingredients that he have to learn.
And plus the team is the fourth in the team.
Yeah, of course, this specific team, how that specific team operates. So it puts an enormous pressure for these people. And basically with that, me as a CEO not taking into account these 3 or these 4 aspects, I actually burned these people out. The people was like highly motivated. They did a lot of things. They like pushed themselves to learn. It was like crazy. I have like no complaints from that point of view. Me as a CEO, I made the wrong decision.
I understand. But what was the aftermath? Or can you walk through afterwards what has happened in the company?
We spent first round, didn't get where we wanted. I took convertible loan.
Okay, but it's again like
same amount.
Many have this experience.
And we tried again 1 year, again didn't start to fly.
Okay.
And then I understood that we have a flaw in business model.
Okay.
And then we had.
And what does it mean, flaw in business model?
We started to stumble into the problem, 2 problems. First, that we was not able to sell as fast as so much as we wanted. Our month growth was dropping, like coming first into 50%, then 12%, then 10, then 8, then like 7, then 5, and it stayed on 5. And no matter what I tried or what we tried with the sales and marketing, we didn't got that up again. And I started to ask what's going on. And even if the sales was driving customers inside, but customers didn't adopt the product, they was not able to put it to work and get it into working. And our business strategy was like simple, clear. We create a product that works. We have proved that product works. We will sell it out as fast as possible, and we push customers with the information and the manuals and stuff to put it into work as fast as possible. It doesn't happen that way. It was not possible.
But and where on timeline is this what you are describing now? Is it now or is it past?
It was about 3 years ago.
Ah, okay. So this means there are 3 more years to go.
Yeah.
Before we go in those 3 more years, what did you feel like at that time?
Really bad shape. Really bad.
What did you do about it or nothing?
I learned in a hard way that there's a very thin line between the vision and hallucination.
Yeah. But what does it mean you learned it hard way? Did you got in hospital or what happened?
I really didn't. The challenge with that skill, if I as a person own the skill of being committed and being persistent. I am the long distance runner. I have been doing a lot of long distance running. I'm able to run like 100 kilometers. I have that persistency. I can do that. But this can work against you also. If you are able to run long distances into wrong direction a long time, then it's a quite far point to come back into right track.
Yes, yes.
So this is the problem with all the specific skills as we have as people. We have the qualities, but when we like overuse that quality in everywhere, we screw things up.
Yeah, but I know that you are still running the same company, so you didn't give up and you are still running the same direction, yes?
No.
No.
Direction is different.
Okay, but that's interesting and we will get there. But coming back now to you said you learned the hard way. What happened? What was this hardness? Did you burn out or did you got in mental institution?
I'm very committed, as you understand. So I'm committed, but also to the team. We have a super team. We still have a super team. But these people that we hired, these junior people, they made enormous growth actually, what they had to learn, all the stuff. And I was in that point where I saw that we have done 1.5 years, all that learning and sporting and all that work. And we are almost there to figure out what's the problem. But we have money only for 2 weeks. Okay, I need 9 months, but I have only 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Don't sound as a good situation. And I was myself so focused how to solve that problem. For us in that specific time was 2 very specific problems. First was one to get this month-over-month growth back up again. Then the second problem was this, that the customers who we gave Eziil to implement, that they will really start to using also. And I had at the same time the third challenge, which is getting external markets, some other external market to start to grow, because we was burning the local market leads already all out, so the market was basically empty for us.
Yeah.
And the such a big three challenges at the same time is an enormous task to actually take. And I was not able to do that. But even if I was really focused and trying to solve all at once.
Okay, you were not, and what happened then?
I had a mentor session. Back then we had a mentor.
Same?
No, Sergei Anikin was our mentor back then. Actually, I had a second mentor also. Back then I had two mentors. Actually, three mentors. But one was Rein Lemberbu was one of the mentors. And one of mentors was Sergei Anikin, who was back then CEO of Pipedrive. So we had a Pipedrive CEO as our mentor. So this was very interesting experience. And I remember that meeting, and Sergei said, I think after every 2 weeks we had a meeting or something like that. And Sergei said to me that, Maido, what the hell you are waiting for? You are driving like 250 kilometers per hour. There is no way visible that the way will go directly on your vision path. There is a turn.
Yeah.
I can see there is a beton wall. Like
press the brakes.
I had do something, turn or do something. Like what you are waiting for? I remember it was a Tuesday, and I was like, "Fucking Sergei." You are our mentor. Like you have to believe in us. Like you have to be committed. You have to motivate us. You have to find solutions how we can solve these problems. Not to say me that I have to break. Like, I was so mad and so pissed off about the Sergei. I remember I went back. This was Tuesday, and then the evening I was sitting and thinking, and actually he's right. Actually, he's right. Like
good that it came to you in the evening, not after a year.
And I think at that one point was that I had many sessions with Rein before that, and Rein was all the time pushing me, Maido, you have to slow down. You have to think. Because I was all the time in reaction mode. If you have a lot of problems, you want to grow fast, you have to be fast. You have to execute all the time. But the problem with that comes that you are working inside machine versus working on top of the machine, seeing how the business model generally working. Of course, now I can pinpoint you what was our three main challenges. Back then, I was not able to actually pinpoint that. I was just solving all the things that was happening in the same time.
So, and what did you do?
In Wednesday, in the evening, I sent the invitation to team leaders. We will meet up in Wednesday. I said to them, we have to fire 70% of our people and cut costs, 70%. Existing team members have to cut the salaries, 35%. Who we will pick? We didn't leave before we had the plan ready. We agreed that in Wednesday we will get back together, review that plan. Are we satisfied or something has changed over the night? We got together, looked over, made some corrections. Some people said that they will not accept our offer, continue and lose from salary 35%. We lost few very good people to whom we committed a lot of energy to get them into that knowledge level. But yeah, they didn't commit it, and Friday I went into work and said that made 28 meetings. And with that fired 18 people.
Okay, so this happened, you trimmed down the tree to a smaller size.
We trimmed to 10 people. So we was 10 people.
You reduced the burn rate, you reduced the number of internal things you need to do, and that gave you time to think and reflect most probably.
Yeah, and it was so close call that in one point after doing that, it was like we had a cash flow, not like a monthly or weekly. We had a cash flow of daily cash flow money moving out and in one point we had in our bank account like minus 80 euros. Actually our bank account went to minus, like I didn't knew that it's possible. You have your
Some
account.
mistake in bank system.
I don't know how it's possible that the bank account can go into minus without having the special credit system, but it went to minus and it was so close call. And we concentrated only 6 months on how to play things around, that we can do what have to die, what will be continued, how we can survive, do we survive, and do we want to survive actually.
I have twice in my life in 2 different companies experienced this, that at one moment you have to press hard brakes, not to stop the car completely, but to reduce the team size multitude times. And this both times has brought very good results. And both times before that I was resisting to it like hell.
Welcome to the club. Been there, done that. Like,
yes.
School of stupidity.
I just remember that I also have done in past that at one moment I went out and borrowed money, but I needed the money in terms of after 2 days maximum. So I just went and borrowed from a private person as a private person with a private loan. So that also has been done.
Oh, crazy times. But actually, you cannot, if you review that situation, this is where investors actually put money. They put money into that. You try everything that is possible as fast as it is possible. They actually put on this money. There is a lot of cases where people have actually figured out stuff on last minute.
Yes, but normally how I see now, looking back at my situation, that you need to know what are you doing. Are you in experimentation mode, meaning are you running a laboratory, or are you in production, meaning scaling mode?
Yeah.
But you do not scale things which are not working yet. And the problem of the mindset is that we are trying to scale things which are not working yet.
I know. This was my.
And the mistake is that we think that they work because there is process, there is manual, there's what. This creates this illusion that they are working.
Yeah, I got this experience first time when I started to work with Rain. I remember Risto was the one who, before that, we called this A10, this event when I had to fire lot of Eziilians in one day, and only 10 of them was left. So we called that day A10. So Eziil 10, only 10 Eziilians remained in the company. I think about a year ago I started mentoring with actually in Cocoon Program.
Okay, but then I have a question. You said that now you see 3 things what were not working back then.
Yes.
What can you share? What
Yes.
those are? What those were?
The first thing, I remembered what I wanted to share regarding Rain.
Okay.
And that actually related to your story, that I'm helping producers to produce systematic way. I help them scale the business.
Okay.
This is what I'm doing with Eziil. And I remember in the boarding process in Cocoon, there is a boarding process. There is a lot of questions that you have to share about your company, what is your challenge. And there was one of the things was like, share the company structures, what type of meeting structures you have and stuff like that. So I shared everything. I wrote everything down, like shared some slide stuff. Here is this link, here is that. I put everything in over there. And I had a first session with Rain, and Rain is like looking at the information and saying that, how big is your company? I was like, fuck. We are so unsystemized. We are like crazy unsystemized. Like I felt really embarrassed that we are not very systemized. And I said, we are like 20, I think 25 was the back then, 25 people. And he said, if I'm looking at the structures and ways how we are doing, it looks like 200 people, 250 people company. Like,
yes.
It's like a crazy systematic approach. that I have never seen even the 10 times bigger companies such a systematic approach. But if you have a such systematic approach for the business model that doesn't work and creates hell, you create yourself 10 times hell.
Exactly, yes. You spend so much time creating these systems and then upkeeping the systems.
So crazy.
So then what were those three things that you...
We didn't manage to keep up the repetitive sales motion. Month over month growth, we was not able to keep it up. Why we was not able to keep it up was this, that we didn't found a way how to get to a bigger market.
Yeah.
And the second reason was that we was not able to implement customers who bought it. We was not able to implement them.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't. We had the illusion that we give Eziil product for them. We give manuals and videos, and they are able to do it themselves alone. But our customer segment is so big. Like we have, for example, we had pharmaceutical producers. We had like metal welders, fabricate furniture producers. We have the trailer producers. You name it, we have it. And they are all bit different. And because of that, you cannot proceed like a normal business flow. You have to go into that specific industry and understand how that is working.
Yeah. Okay.
And with this, it felt basically that way, that every time we implemented one customer we wrote one wiki. Basically, we learned one subject in university. Basically, understanding how this business works, what is the main drivers, how you run that business, how you can be effective, and how big have to be stock levels. We learned everything, but you cannot scale that.
And how did you, have you gotten out from this situation?
Yes.
How, and what is today, but how you came to solution, so that your answer is useful also for those who are listening in their business situations.
Yeah.
And how did you find this solution to, once you get the customer, that they actually start using the product?
I would say there is two things. Like this is like a multiple events what needed to happen with us. I understood that this business model didn't work, that I'm trying to solve all the producers' problems at once, one solution. Mm-hmm. So this means I have to pick one industry. So I reviewed our 300 customers or who we have built the demos and stuff like that, and took one specific industry where I saw two things. First one was this, that it had a low competition from a competitor side. So this means it was underserved, still is underserved. Second thing is this, that we know how to solve that problem. So we have a solution for that. And the third thing was that we had such a strong reference customers who others are respecting.
Okay.
Saying that if you can solve something in that customer, you probably will fit to us also and can solve our problem also.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you basically narrowed down.
Yeah.
First you narrowed down your team, then you narrowed down your customers.
Exactly. This is the pattern. And we narrowed down metal project-based productions. Is like a very general term. This means that you have productions, you have two types of production. One type of production which is producing serial products. For example, I would say this is a serial product.
Yeah.
So you get the order 100 pieces, you produce it, send it to all the customers, and you get the next month again 100 pieces order. It's a serial production.
Yeah.
And it's all about how I can do this, what I have already done, faster next time. Mm-hmm. That's the older storyline with this type of products. So we dropped that part because this is very highly competitive. There is a lot of solutions out there that can do this. So we picked another thing. For example, look this. Every production of building is a one-off basically, They
Yeah.
produce only once that.
Okay.
So we picked structural steel as a raw material, structural steel, and they produce from that bridges, warehouses, high-rise buildings.
So custom solutions.
Exactly.
Your clients are building custom
Yeah,
solutions.
our clients are, and we are doing over there like starting from bill of material, then purchasing, warehouse,
Yeah.
reporting in shop floor, planning, everything, delivering, and later understanding this project that I did as a one-off, did I earn money or did I lost money?
Okay.
This is what we are providing them.
So on the business level, the repeatable experience for everyone is to narrow down on one customer segment.
And this is, there is very...
Where the pain is the biggest potentially, like in...
And for me, what did it show for me was this, that imagine that you have so many customer segments that you have to serve. So this means you will dilute your marketing because they have so many potential messages that they have to put out to trigger these different customer segments.
Yeah. And I want to ask one more thing. This is what happened on the business level. What happened on your level, in you? What changed in you as a result of which you could come to these conclusions and to implement them?
I needed to sacrifice one part of my vision. I started with very big vision. I wanted to help all the producers.
Yeah.
I wanted to digitalize them all. But now I had to pack down, narrow down, make it smaller.
And in order for you to sacrifice part of the vision, what had to change in you for you to become able to do that? Because if I would typically give someone advice, chip down your vision, they would not do it because there needs to be this ability to do it.
It's very simple. If life pushes you down and you are down there, and it's not like that you are just down and you stand up, it like comes and pushes your head also like that.
Okay, this
you
is,
cannot avoid that.
Yes, this is how it happened, but what was the change that happened? Can you pinpoint it?
No, I cannot pinpoint it. There's a lot of things that I feel that is necessary for that. You need to have an ability to let go some of the stuff. I proved that with letting go the people who we had a really great team spirit and vibe over there. But I let them go. I let them go some part of the business that I was saying that I will not address.
One possibility is that what changed is that you let go the self-image of some huge company founder.
Yes, it can be also.
Because it sounds like this whole story is about reducing expectations to team size, to the customer base size, to the vision. But actually, this reducing of expectations eventually can lead to even bigger outcomes.
It's one thing that I love with juniors actually, that they don't know what they are saying yes to it. So if you are hiring junior for basically, they don't know what they commit to.
Okay.
And you understand
Yes.
what I mean with that? The same is with our vision. With our vision, we are all juniors. We don't know what we are committing to until we'll start to live it and experience it and start to get feedback. And then we understand, oh my God, it's much harder than I was thinking.
And that's why on the business level, looking this usual startup mantra that you start with one idea, eventually you will end up doing something else. Maybe not completely else, yes? Not that you started with software, but now you are producing sausages.
Can happen.
Well, still software, but just different.
Sausage software.
But inner journey also has led from one place to completely other. Someone starts as a CEO and ends up as a CSO, or so it's as if this business vision is luring you into a trap, but the trap is for your good, to
Yeah.
morph you into some other place.
I would say also that if sometimes people ask, if you could do something differently, would you do something differently? I don't understand that question actually. Why I should do it differently when I learned everything on the way? Like, this is enormous value what I got out from it.
Yeah.
I didn't knew that. I'm knowing that at that current level, at that moment, I can own that. But if I have not lived that, there is no help if I go back there and make another decision. But I don't know that, but I know that. No,
Exactly.
Stupidity.
But I want to ask you one question about this Cocoon mentoring program. What is it a tool for you? What has it been like? Each thing is a tool for something, yes? So this mentoring program is a tool for what for you?
I have seen their mentorings are very different level. Cocoon mentoring is different from that view that it puts like person first. If you take a business venture mentor, the business is first.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a really different approach.
But then, just to probe a bit, if I were the investor, then I would say, don't go there. I want you to prioritize the business. Then your answer would be what?
Really depends on the people. It depends. You can find out that in the end everybody will win. If you go into program which focus on the person and you understand that you are doing the wrong work basically, and you are not up for that work and you don't even like that work, you will actually help yourself and others by leaving.
And the company. You mean.
Exactly.
And the
because
investors.
because this is the same problem that if I don't like what I'm doing, I'm going in the morning and and when I do like that, how motivating it is with me to let's tackle like big challenges together.
Yes.
It doesn't work like that. You fucked up my day.
Okay, I got you. Okay, and then I have the last question, or maybe last theme. Let's see what happens with this. So, if you now try to imagine that somewhere there on a chair is sitting architect of your life, yes, then he's written your life chapter by chapter, yes, and these last 8 years, these are 2 chapters in your life, yes. And the stories in those 8 years is the marriage and the company, but as in the company there has been this like, yes, then what are the titles? Actually, maybe it's 1 chapter, maybe it's 2. It's up to you how you feel. So what are the titles for these chapters?
For 8 years.
Last 8 years
Last
of your
8
life.
years of my life.
Put in 1 or 2 chapters how you feel it. Okay, maybe 3 chapters.
I have so if I'm really honest, my life is full of action.
Full of action. Okay, this is the book's title, but
Yeah.
no, what about the chapter titles? Man of Action is the book title.
For Man of Action, it's really easy to go like in React mode. But since it's 8 years, I will say, and if you say like a 2, let's drill down. If it's a 2 chapters, then there is probably, of course, there is a chapter until the A10, which is like before that, when I had to I had the investment money to try different things, and the life after that, E10. So this is a very special. The team members who continued, they also showed a lot of commitment.
Usually it is like that, yeah.
Yeah, they are really committed. We have only part ways with 1 member after that, and we understood both that didn't work for us, and we had a different expectations for each other, and it was very friendly breakup. And it was like so mature from that point of view that it was even beautiful for both sides.
So the second title could be Beautiful Maturity.
Yes, thank you.
And the first chapter?
I would say it's a burn.
Burn?
Burn! Like, burn! Fucking burn! You know this song? The house is on fire!
And, and somewhere on the first floor you are sitting in the car and pressing the gas pedal. It's like,
No. I will try with the truck, which is full of petrol, and I will try to solve the problem with the petrol.
Okay, so burn and then beautiful maturity.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, beautiful. Let's conclude on this.
That's
Thank you,
completely
Maido.
right. Thank you.